Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Knights of the Turntable First Impressions. I have with me AJ.
How you doing?
Gary Swaby is back with the crew.
Hey, what's good? It's good to be back on Knights of the Turntable, man.
Been way too long, man. I'm ready for the G Unit references. Joe Hova.
What's up?
And we got B Will.
As usual, what's going on?
Once again, we got two people with no video, though.
Yeah.
Listen, man, I'm going to get a computer with a webcam one day.
Well, I mean, I might be able to get you that hookup on the webcam, you know what I'm saying?
Look, we got Rich into 2015. Now we got to get B Will into 2015.
Man, I was here, but I had some decisions to make, man. So, I mean...
Food or a computer with a cam?
No.
All right, so this is a special episode where we're doing the first impression for Ludacris. That is right, you heard me correctly. We are talking about Luda in 2015. I must remind you once again, Ludacris. So, before we get into the album, did y'all listen to the Burning Bridges EP that he released for free on Google Play before that? Actually, you have. I'm going to tell you why. Just
I'm ready.
But have y'all listened to just that EP?
No, I didn't
Yeah.
listen to it.
I did not.
All right. Joe, just quickly, because we talked about it before. What did you think about the Burning Bridges?
It was cool. It was like Luda went back to his roots a little bit, I guess. But I mean, there was still like the roller coaster hit and miss lines and stuff that he'd been doing the past like while. So
Word.
also, I thought we were doing T-Pain.
You didn't know we were doing Luda?
No,
today?
you didn't specify.
You really?
Yesterday, yes, I did.
Yesterday you said we were doing T-Pain.
Yeah,
So-
we've been supposed to do the T-Pain one.
Eventually, when we did the conversation afterwards, I literally said Ludacris because they needed the links to
I
download.
blame you, Joe. This is all your fault.
I know.
Thoroughly
I'm fully ready to talk about T-Pain.
prepared for that.
I mean, we ended up doing both, but
Man, somebody throw me that link while I'm thinking about it, because I need to hear that T-Pain.
Yeah.
send them that piff real quick, if somebody wouldn't mind. But
Yeah, I can give it to them.
but did you at least listen to Ludacris, Joe?
No. Because I thought this was T-Pain.
Stop the cam. No, I'm stopping.
We're not gonna stop the recording. We'll get this knocked out, and we may do T-Pain as well. But so the reason why I asked about the EP is because a lot of the songs, actually almost all of the songs except for one, from the EP were included on the album in some way. The song we were just listening to, the last one with the singing on it. Miguel. Yes, that was off of the EP, and all of the last like 4 songs were from the EP as well.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, which is dope. I mean, it was like the bonus tracks on there, but they were a part of it, and they were so good that I'm glad that they were included in some kind of way.
Wait, so
But,
he did a Kanye?
No, he didn't do a Kanye because if you get the regular version,
Uh-huh.
then those last 4 songs are not on there.
Oh, okay. And then the 4 from the got you.
Yeah, like the Miguel song is part of the actual album.
Yeah,
The
I figured that would be like one of the main singles. For
Yeah, you can't, like as good as that was
Yes.
and radio friendly, you can't pass that up as being on that particular record. But let's just discuss, how we felt about the album overall. I'm gonna put the pressure on the newbie of the group
Why I gotta be all that, man?
because you are all that.
All right,
sir.
that's cool.
And then we did kind of just listen to it as well.
Go ahead, put my weapons up. I feel as though, in reference to Ludacris and his discography, this is a good but not great album. I say that having listened to everything that he's put out. I feel all his public shit, really.
Yeah.
Because I heard Incognito, but then you hear back for the first time the same shit. All right, so having listened to the lineage of Ludacris, it's great. This is a great fucking album, but chicken and beer exists.
It set the standard, so you can't get over that.
Yeah, I can't because I'm just like.
But is chicken and beer the standard?
Well, give me one that was better.
I don't know, man. I think word of mouth's better.
Okay, God damn it, you're right. I take it back. I take it back, Joe. I take it back. You're right. Because you ain't lying. Word of mouth has Saturday. All right, so in saying that, it's good, dog. It's really good. It's a good album. He's in a different place. The boy got his daughter. Oh, hold on. God damn. I'm sorry, what was that one where he got the Grammy? Like, it wasn't my favorite album, but it was. I think that one was better than this one.
Red Light District?
No, after Red Light District, the one right after that.
Release Therapy?
Yeah, Release Therapy. There you go.
You think that one's better than this?
Yeah.
Interesting, because that's one of my least favorites from him.
Oh.
That one had slap though, and that was like one of my favorite Luda songs ever.
I'm gonna have to re-listen to it. I'm gonna have to re-listen to the whole.
Because he had that. He had one. What was the ones that had come out with Sierra? The two. What you think about your satisfaction? The Field Mob. He had Field Mob on there, and I
Field Mob was
really
fire.
fucking love Field Mob.
I love Field Mob. I love that album, and not many people talk about that album as many people do.
Exactly. They didn't go as far as they should have gone. So that's tangent to what we're talking about. I just feel as though that album was better than this one, and this is, don't get me wrong, it's a good album because Ludacris does not put out shit except for. I'm gonna say Red Light District has to be my least favorite of his albums.
I still don't feel like it was shit though.
No. I didn't. Okay, I should have put a period after that because I'm not saying it's shit, but I'm saying it is my least favorite of his album.
Okay, I can respect that.
Yeah, Ludacris don't put shit out.
Word. Gary Swaby, give us your blanket statement on the album, your blanket feelings.
I've always kind of credited Ludacris as being a good rapper. And on this album he displays his lyricism, and he shows that he's still got it and he's still a great rapper. But I feel like the focus just isn't there. Like, it just seems like he's trying to be his old self kind of thing. Like, there's no real theme or message on some of these songs, I think. I mean, there are a few standout songs that I really liked, like Ocean Skies. Get Lit is a real good one if you want to turn up. And Call Your Bluff, I enjoyed listening to that one. And there's a few other ones that I kind of enjoyed, but it just seems like there's a disconnect with the overall album to me. And I prefer his old stuff. Like, I'd rather go back and listen to some of his old stuff than listen to this.
It's interesting that you say that you felt like he was forcing like the old style. I was gonna ask how everybody felt about the growth of Ludacris lyrically on there, but we're gonna come back to
No, it's not about the growth. I
Okay.
just want to say, if he was, I also want to mention, when you put the album in, that first song, come on, if Ludacris were ever to be mad at somebody, let's not remember he was on Stomp, right? Let's not forget that shit.
Yeah.
And let's also remember, that motherfucker, if you ever go against Ludacris, he will lyrically assault your ass. That boy went in. Fuck. Okay, that's all I wanted to say. All right.
No, that's true, because even on the Burning Bridges EP, on the title track, I think, he went in. We don't even know what he was talking about.
Exactly. Like, if Ludacris was mad at any of you motherfuckers, Ludacris would come at you.
Yeah, he's still
Yeah, he's underrated in that sense. Like, he'll get at you.
Yes, that is true. Be Will.
Well, let's just say I had not even really gotten into the last two Luda LPs. So my impression of it was, what was the third album? After Word of Mouth. What was the album after Word of Mouth?
Chicken and Beer.
Okay. That's the last album I heard from him. After that,
Are we counting Incognito back to the
No,
first
but he
time
said
Word of
specifically
Mouth?
after Word of Mouth.
I'm sorry, after Word of Mouth.
So yeah, after Word of Mouth, Chicken and Beer was the last one that I put an ear on, and it wasn't because Luda got worse. It's because Luda is, I feel like he's exhausting. He takes a certain amount of energy to put up with, and in a way, it kind of hurts him, because do you want to hear Ludacris talk about something sentimental? Because the over pronunciation and all the impact and the emphasis on the syllables, it's like I'm not gonna. I don't feel as strongly about these things as you apparently do, with how much emphasis you're putting on these words. So it was kind of hard to connect.
Syllable was real.
For that reason, for me, it was like, I'm tired of playing this game with you, man. Just, he's good for a certain type of music. Like, the bars on this album, I was very happy about the bars on this album. That the production on this album was fantastic. I was very happy about the production. Because I had not listened to Luda in so long, this was a very good refresher in Ludacris for me.
And see, that's a plus for you, because you weren't there for the David Guetta song, and you weren't there for the filling up balloons line. Like, so this is easy for you. Like,
Because
this is tough for anybody else who's like been around like Ludacris versus like the last 4 or 5 years. because it's like you want to give him a chance, but at the same time, it's like he said, "Fill her up, balloons."
I'm waiting for the rest of the punchline, man.
Stop, shut up. Guns get drawn like cartoons. Hey. I like Ludacris, man.
You have a struggle bar every now and then, especially during that time span, though, in my opinion.
But yo, with the production, do you feel like some of the songs on this album seem overproduced, like for the kind of content that he was rapping?
I mean,
felt like it was.
you go ahead, Sean.
No, I didn't really have like a deeper statement to say, but I agree with that. Well, I don't know if you were agreeing with it or just asking, but I did feel like some of it was overproduced, more so towards the end of the album, though, not so much early on. And actually, that Get Lit track, I feel, is one of those overproduced songs, personally.
Well, I like the production a lot, and mostly that's because I feel like the one thing that hurt Ludacris before was he would have some fire production on most of the albums, and on one it would be like a track that his homeboy made. He just wanted to put them on. Like, where does one weak ass track come from? And there were no weak links as far as production goes. Overproduction, I guess. It seems like if you put these beats together, any artist who was just coming out, whether it's a second, third, fourth album, this would be a great produced album for anybody. And maybe that's what kind of hurts it. Like, there's no flair of the personal in here. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no, oh man, this is like vintage Luda. The bars are vintage Luda, but yeah. I mean, I don't know. I have a hard time wrapping my mind around the phrase overproduction. And I've asked you about that, Charles, because I don't quite hear overproduction when I hear that album, or a lot of albums, really, but I thought it was good. I definitely say the production was a positive and not negative, at least from my point of view.
Gotcha. Well, you know what? I'll change mine. Not necessarily overproduction, but radio-friendly production.
Yep.
Something that was annoying to me towards the end. Because you heard earlier on, he didn't need that for this particular project, but we got it anyway. But as far as like my take on the album, I enjoyed it overall. Just like you said, the bars were there, and they were there in abundance, and that was fantastic to hear.
Got a question. You say you didn't care for the radio friendliness, but did we not?
The abundance of it.
Okay, but did we not forget that Ludacris was a DJ?
But we also forget that he's grown up.
True. However, we also forget that he was a DJ. And that's where I was going with this, because him being a DJ, having known the other side of the spectrum as opposed to just making the music, he knows how it's put out there, how you make sure that you get that record play. I'm not saying that's what he was fishing for. However, to have a full encompassing knowledge of the shit that goes on, that's going to kind of cater to where his music's going. Ludacris, let's be honest, Ludacris don't need the money. He don't need to be out there battle rapping. He don't have anybody trying to contest him. He don't have anything to prove, because Ludacris is not only great at this rapping thing, but he's in motherfucking movies.
Just to point out, you actually took my argument for what your first statement was out of my mouth with that last part. He has nothing to prove. He doesn't have to make these radio singles or make a single per se to be relevant. I don't think he expects to instantly become like mainstream relevant, like top tier, automatically off of this album again. So why try to force that? Which is what I felt Get Lit was, because Get Lit sounded like the old just radio. Like, this is the only purpose for this is for radio. And it's not gonna get on the radio with the level that Ludacris is right now.
Right. Yeah, I fully agree with that, because we're in an age now where, you know, these rappers that have had success previously, you know, they only have to serve their core audience, like the people that have stayed true to them and are fans of them. So, you know, radio play should not be a concern to someone like Ludacris at this point. He's in Furious 7, if you say, like, that's a big deal. So
hey, I just watched that, and he had a dope scene in that, man. It was fantastic, and I hope those movies keep going. But to continue, like I said, overall I enjoyed the album. I'm glad we got it. I was excited when I heard Burning Bridges anyway, because I was surprised. Like, I didn't think that. Well, honestly, I probably did think Ludacris had lost it as far as rapping goes, and had probably shelved that part of his career like some other artists should have. But then he said I got a notification on my phone that Burning Bridges was going to be free on Google Play. So it came out, it automatically loaded to my phone, and then I listened to it and I was pleasantly surprised.
Well,
And
the
then
thing,
I was
the thing
Go
about Luda too is that he started focusing more on acting. So
Right.
his focus on acting made his music drop off.
It's because the grass is always greener on the other side.
Oh.
Yeah, I did it. I'm sorry.
terrible. But I'm now that I've heard the album and I've heard the EP, I am glad that he did this project. I wonder if it was intended to be his last album.
I never thought about anything like that. Why you gotta do shit like that?
Well, it's on Def Jam, and I don't know how many albums he had on Def Jam, like as contract-wise anyway.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that
I think it
too.
was like 4 of them.
But so from what y'all have heard, all right. Well, actually, I'll save that question for last. What are your standout songs, and what songs do you feel like should have been cut? I'll start with Gary.
Well, I already kind of gave my standout songs. There was a song called Beast Mode that was kind of meh to me. Like, it wasn't. I didn't like that song.
Lord.
I can't really think of too many others. I still need to give it a thorough listen.
Okay.
But
Be
there
with
were tracks that weren't very memorable. So.
Okay.
I'm trying to. I had my phone in my pocket, some Bluetooth headphones on, really just playing them. So I was not looking at the names of songs that was going by. I can say that as I was letting it ride, the intro was outstanding. The grass is always greener. I appreciated the fact that it's a grown-up Luda talking like an adult. It's like that's why the whole I forgot. I think it was Get Lit. Get Lit was disappointing because it's like you're grown up now. You don't have to do that type of single. Do the Miguel single. Like let that be the single. The whole let me encourage you to drink heavily at the club. That was kind of but I think Grass is Always Greener, the intro. I'm trying to see one later down the line really just stuck out. I think Charge It to the Rap Game. Because, again, it's like from your perspective, what's going on from your perspective? Don't do what everybody's already doing. We know that story. We know that line. That perspective, I appreciated that. And there were not too many lows. And I really appreciate that.
Gotcha. I co-signed the ones that y'all mentioned, except for him saying that he didn't like Beast Mode. I thought that was outstanding because that was just bar fest.
Yeah, yes, I'm with you. Beast Mode was the bars. I was like, yes, I'm impressed.
Yeah, I mean, his bars were impressive on a lot of the songs, but I probably just had a problem with the beat or something. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, I can understand that. That grass is always greener is dope. The Miguel single, which I'd already heard, and I've been vibing to that for a while. The Big Crit feature is actually one of my favorites as well.
Yes, dog. Yes.
I've actually heard that one. I've heard that song.
That one was good. That one was good.
Yeah, Ludacris and Big Crit trading was better than I expected it to be. Not saying that I doubted either one of them lyrically, but I doubted them trading like that.
Let me ask you though, is it better than the Country Shit remix?
That's what I was thinking too. That's what it reminded me of. No, it's not. No, it's not. Fuck no.
All right, so overall, I can't say it is because I like the beat on Country Shit more.
Mm-hmm.
But the rhyming was better on this song, though, in my opinion. I'm sorry.
They weren't talking
You
about
just
that country shit. They weren't talking about the. I'm just saying they were not lyrically.
It's okay.
The subject matter was not as prevalent.
It's okay.
In this as opposed to that.
That is for you.
All right. All right. Well, since
I'll rock with the country shit.
Since Charles is he's done taking his fresh ass shit on what I was talking about. Let me tell you about the
like
songs
you weren't just taking the shit on what I was saying.
Let me tell you about the songs I like because I have them listed right here as I'm looking at the track list because I need to know the names. I like knowing the names. And Grass is Always Greener. Let's be honest. Ludaversal, and I didn't care much for Beast Mode. And,
I like how you look at me.
That pause, man. That standstill. Oh shit.
There was you have Come and See Me, Good Loving with Miguel, and Not Long, the one he did with Usher. I liked it.
That was
I
good.
liked it.
Matrimony. That was the name of that song.
No, it's called Not
No, it's
Long.
called Not Long.
Oh, it is?
Matrimony.
My track list is full. Yeah, I'm just joking.
Anywho, those are the songs that stuff to me, man. Did you just mute me?
No, I was making sure.
Oh, okay, yeah. And that kind of stuff. Like, come on, you haven't heard Usher. I say Usher. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But you haven't heard Usher and Ludacris on something in a while. And I mean, I think they go very well together. And started from the intro. That's gonna be like my second favorite after The Grass Is Greener, because when he comes in, he's just like, "Hi world, I'm gonna fuck you over with these lyrics," and he does so, and then it leads in The Grass Is Greener.
Now let me ask, because I'm looking at the track list right now, and I only see that there's one skit.
Yeah, I know.
I thought there was more than
No, it was just no. You're right. It was okay. So it's two.
I see an interlude too.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I meant. It was one skit, but there was like the skit and the interlude. Okay, so all right, me and Charles were talking about this earlier because I go back to the days of goddamn keep it on the hush. People coming into the church smelling like booty and Hennessy. Like, like I go back to listening to that Ludacris, and I'm like, he could have done better. He could have done better with the skit. Don't get me wrong. He tried to be funny. I'm sure some will find it amusing, but that Viagra thing, it wasn't funny.
You know what? That's one of the main things I love about Luda, because being a radio person and him coming from radio into rapping, like he makes it visual. Like with his skits, he makes it so visual, and it's like theater of the mind, like one of his album names actually, and it's just always like a fun thing to hear a Ludacris skit for some reason.
Yeah, I agree.
I can agree with that because it was still visual. The situation, it just was not that funny. The whole Viagra.
Yeah, I mean, then she get in there like, where's the drink? She at least expects something else. Like, hold on, bitch, you came to play with this dick and you ask about drinks? Nah.
Oh my goodness.
You need to answer that question in the chat right quick. There's a question there.
I got it.
Okay.
No, that ain't got nothing to do with the show.
It does, because he was talking about me, and I saw that. I was like,
terrible, man.
yeah.
Now, since I'm basically the only one who hasn't listened, would you guys recommend this to me to check it out after the show?
Joe, I consider you to be just as awesome as AJ is. AJ is me. So, yes, I'd recommend it to you.
AJ is me.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. I would recommend it to you, yes. It's worth... I'm not saying that it's going to be in your rotation for a significantly long time.
That's true.
But it's worth it to check it out.
But it's worth listening to, and there may be a couple songs off of there that hit your rotation. Because that Miguel single is going to be in my rotation.
That Miguel song, I hear that on the radio all the time, and I still love it.
Really good.
It's really, really good one. How about you, Gary?
Yeah, I'd recommend you listen to it.
You'd recommend something other than 50 Cent related music? I am
That's
so
shocking.
Yeah, you know,
Party.
you know, Ludacris did collaborate with Young Buck and Lloyd Banks back in the day, so you know he gets my stamp of
So
approval.
he's paid his dues.
Yeah, I listened to Stomp too. It was a pivot point for me in my life. I was like, boy, they were mad at each other on the same fucking song.
You know, he killed T.I. on that song.
He should the fuck exactly, man. And this is why I want to, dog. That intro song. If he was legitimately aiming at someone, when Charles played it for me the first time, I was like, fuck, who is he mad at? Like somebody's gonna die out there lyrically. Ludacris is a killer, man.
All right, B. Will, would you recommend it?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I mean, I'm a tough critic on most music, but I mean, for the bars alone, you got to listen to this album.
Okay.
All right, word. Now, last question before we shut it down. Now that we've heard the album, would we want another Ludacris album in the future? Do we see it happening? Do we want it to happen?
I say.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say if it's not going to be at least this good, no. At least get the production. Some of it is radio friendly, and it's not just some outstanding breaking new ground as far as style and theme. Of course not. I mean, it's Ludacris. He's a and no disrespect, he's a surface rapper. So if the bars are on point, it's gonna be at least likable. And if he can keep doing that with good production, yeah. If not, then no, just act, just act. Don't ever come worse than this.
True that. Gary.
I would prefer listening to EPs from him, like, because I don't think I would want to hear, a project of 14 tracks from Ludacris, all the time. So I prefer if he just did EPs or something, and just give us some like really strong tracks, but it will be shorter in length than a full album.
Hip hop should have a retirement club where after a certain age you can only do EPs.
I was getting ready to say something like that.
Like that would be perfect. That was a good suggestion, Gary, because I agree with you. In small doses, which we got to see with the Burning Bridges.
Let's expand all that on the next show.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good subject to expand on.
All right, absolutely. All right, so AJ.
I want to answer your question. I'm gonna have to give you a yes/no. I'm gonna say yes because I'm biased, and I think I honestly care for Ludacris and what he presents as far as that lyrical assassin, legitimately coming from when I was growing up, like when motherfuckers, you had to defend, oh, I'm the best rapper alive, I'm this, I'm that, right? You have to defend that. Like, you the best to come out here and talk about it, right? Like, Ludacris can legitimately not say he's the best, but can attack anyone if they were ever to come aggressive lyrically towards him, right? Let's just put that out there. He's defended his career. Yes, I would like to hear more Ludacris, but at the same time, no, because I am also from when Ludacris was out there rapping around my age, when he was rapping and he didn't have to care about, a daughter, a family, and all these things that make you, in my eyes, a bit more susceptible to emotion and things that are you can no longer say I don't give a fuck when you get on the track. You can't say that because you have kids, you got a wife and kids, you have shit to live for. There is no more I don't give a fuck, like smoking weed on a Saturday and shit like that, like chicken and beer running hoes. You can't do that anymore. You don't run hoes. You have a wife over here, like you can't do that. So
you're in the EP retirement club now.
See, that's the thing. I don't want to hear EP from him. I say that because if you're gonna make that whole EP retirement club, that's gonna become a section for older motherfuckers to be like, hey, yeah, so this is what happened the other day. I was taking a shit. Like, what are you gonna talk about? You can't say I'm the best in the game. You can't say, man, I'm all about the women. You legitimately can't say I'm an aggressive person. Like, that's gonna be a whole different section of rap. You're gonna talk about life lessons and things that I was taught. Like, you're gonna be reliving stories.
That won't limit your topic matter because he did Burning Bridges and he went ham on Burning Bridges.
Yeah, I still think there's stuff that these older rappers can say, just not enough to fill out a full album, I think.
Yeah, because then you start to get filler and shit.
True.
Now, not every artist is guilty of that. There's not even that much filler per se on this particular album.
There isn't. You're right. I give you that. But the reason he had motivation behind this one, I've told everyone that I speak with, emotion makes the best music. Emotion makes for the greatest creativity. Whether it be anger, which is aggressive rap, which kills careers, making some of the best music, or I just lost a loved one, which is love and emotion, Andre 3000 comment type shit. Like, the emotion makes for the best music. He lost his daddy. When I was looking at before he was making his album, when he lost his dad, like, he went through this slew of emotion. Of course, it's gonna be not enough to carry enough emotion to carry you through the entire creative process for an album, but it was good enough to make a good, solid album, and he did.
That is a good point. That is valid. I'm still gonna go with no, simply because like that situation that happened in the influence part of it. You're right about that for sure. I didn't think about that. But I also look at how much time he had to make this good album versus, like, considering the last time that he did a full album.
But are you also considering he was acting?
Yes, I'm considering that. He still had more time to work on or make a bunch of songs and pick out the better songs out of that list. Because we say that he was acting, but that doesn't encompass the entirety of his life. He wasn't in, like, multiple movies, like, every year, like a lot of these other actors were. His main bread and butter is Fast and whatever TV show he was on, like, occasionally. I think he made appearances on Law and Order as a character.
Yeah.
But like, I still think the time allowed him the to create this particular quality of an album. I don't basically I don't want him to jump back into mainstream, releasing one every year or a couple years.
Right.
If it's a couple years out, 2 years, 3 years, I'll be fine with it.
I think historically Ludacris had 2-year intervals.
Yeah, I can stick with that. But you know the frequency has changed since he stopped and came back.
You ain't lying.
Yeah, so yeah, I like if he ain't dropped nothing for like 5 years, I'll be fine.
Oh shit.
And then that fifth year, that should be
shit.
fire as hell.
Damn.
All right. But any last words from anybody? Gary Swaby.
No, it's good to be back on the show. Hopefully, I'll be on, a full episode of Knights of the Turntable soon. And make sure you guys listen to that Young Buck mixtape and listen to the Beef EP if you haven't heard it already.
Gary reminded me of that kid from Chappelle's show. G-unit.
Get your ass in the car.
Goodbye.
AJ, last word.
Nothing more to say. I had a really good time doing this, and I was just very, very glad to hear Ludacris being back because you know how you have a couple of artists that you're like, you know what, I'll blindly listen to anything that this person accepts. Ludacris is one of them. I mean, like anything this artist puts out, Ludacris is one of them, and I haven't been disappointed because he doesn't put out shit. It's not always the greatest of things to, hold into the light, but it's not shit. And if Ludacris put out another album next year, I'll go and buy it.
Okay. Be Will?
Again, always glad to be a part. I'm glad Luda has given something like you said. So I think the time off made it something that I actually want to put in rotation, and hopefully instead of dropping another every year, if it takes 5 years for you to make something that I want to keep in my rotation, yes, let it take 5 years because it's in my rotation.
Jehovah?
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. I'm actually about to go make dinner now, so I'll listen to it when I'm making dinner, I guess.
Okay. Any other last words?
Yeah, I'll be prepared next time. Well, actually, I'll get to talk more on the next one.
I mean, you were prepared. It was just one prepared for the right thing. But we may still be knocking that out too.
Hey, what is the name of that? The Iron Way.
The Iron Way. But thank y'all for tuning in. This has been a first impression. We're going to do these a bit more frequently as time allows. But thank y'all and share with your friends. We'll be back next time. Look at their faces.